Good day, folks, and welcome back to another riveting and incredibly exciting and not at all boring episode of Ed's Garage at Merton Hyundai. So today we have the 2023 Hyundai Tucson N-Line. That's right, we're finally doing an N-Line. I know it's been a long time since I had the opportunity to actually do one of these, and now I do. So we've got an in-stock unit here. It was actually an order for somebody and they canceled, and we ended up keeping the vehicle. But anyway, here it is. So it's in the beautiful red. Now this red is called Crimson Red. Sorry, had to double check there because I couldn't remember exactly what they called the red. They change the red colors all the time. They all look the same, but the names always change. But anyway, let's talk about everything on this particular vehicle, starting with the front, going to the back, going to the inside, going over the infotainment, etc., etc., etc. The N-Line is not a performance package, it is an appearance package on the Tucson anyway. So in some of the other models, the N-Line does give you a little extra performance. On the Tucson, not so. It's basically just an appearance package. Now, you could say that it'll probably handle a little better because it's got larger wheels. That's about it. So the engine on this one, 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder gas direction engine. It does have the Smart Stream technology, and it's also got the 8-speed, regular good old-fashioned bulletproof automatic transmission. So that's cool. It's about 190 horsepower around thereabouts. I can't remember the exact number, but makes no difference really. Again, not really designed for performance, but definitely for looks. Look at this thing. Man, this thing stands out. It's definitely an eye-catching vehicle. Now you can see on the front here, we've got the darkened sort of chrome grille. And in the grille, you can see we've got the daytime running lights. Now don't mind any of the flickering on the lights, guys. It doesn't actually do that in person. That's just the refresh rate of the camera. You also notice we do have LED high beams and headlights, regular low beam headlights. They're a reflective style lens. On the front, you can also see you've got the forward-facing radar system there. That, of course, is for the adaptive cruise control and the autonomous emergency braking. Up in the windshield, you got the forward-facing camera. That's for the autonomous braking as well, but it's also for lane keep assist, pedestrian detection, that sort of thing. Now, the N-Line does benefit from the blackened out Hyundai badge, so really, really beautiful front end. And what do you guys think of the color combination with the black and the red? I think it looks awesome. You'll notice we've also got blacked out mirror caps and black rails and black pillars. Really, really strikingly good looking vehicle. And check out these wheels. So this is a Michelin 235/55 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels. And of course you get the N badging on there as well. That's the Primacy all-season tire, but they are mud and snow rated, guys. If you're looking for a tire that's legal to use pretty much everywhere, this will do it. It's not a winter rated tire, but it is a M+S rated tire. Further down the side, you can see we got the marker lights on the mirrors, and in the mirrors you've got the blind spot monitoring. On the handles you got the button to open the doors, so basically that's your proximity lock. Now currently the vehicle's running, which is why it just beeped on us there. There's also a light inside here that lights up when you approach the vehicle in the dark, so that's kind of cool. Coming around to the back, you got that cool tail light bar that goes all the way across the back here, and you'll notice the absence of a window wiper because it's actually tucked up in here. So you got a beautiful tail end of a vehicle here with a nice hidden wiper. You don't have to worry about seeing that ugly window wiper that kind of throws off the symmetry. Now you've got the sort of air diffuser here, twin chrome exhaust, and of course the H-Track badge. H-Track all-wheel drive on this vehicle is fantastic. It uses over 50 sensors to monitor the road conditions, what's happening with the wheels, tires, that sort of thing. And it's a really, really good system. It's got different terrain modes, which I'll go over when we jump into the vehicle. But anyway, let's open up the back and have a look inside. All right, so good deal of cargo space, somewhere around 950 liters of space back here. So lots of room for what have you. You've got a 12-volt port there. Underneath the floor on this one, you do have a spare tire still, and you can drop the floor down to a lower level if you need a little bit of extra height. Also, if you get one of those privacy covers that normally lock in there, you can actually store it in here when you're not using it. So it actually goes under the floor when not in use. Now, it's a 60/40 split rear bench. You can quickly fold down the seats simply by pulling the handle here. I'm just going to drop the headrest there. So you fold that down just like that. And of course, both sides fold down. We'll leave that side up for now. Now you'll notice that the floor height is the same height as the seat back. So when the seat's all the way down, it's actually a pretty flat floor. It's pretty usable space there. The tailgate opens up very, very high. So even if you're a bit taller, now I'm 6'2", I still have a little bit of space above my head here. So that's kind of nice. Not going to be banging your head into the tailgate. All right, let's go around to the back seat first. Now, in case you're wondering why it's beeping like that, it's because I have the key and the car is running. So it's letting me know that, hey, I left the car running. All right, so first off, seat back. It locks into place when you fold it down, and that way it's not bouncing around when you're going over bumps and whatnot. To release it, it's pretty simple. You just lift the handle and then put the seat back up. The seats in this one, they are a two-type cloth. So you got the sort of leather bolsters on the sides and then cloth in the center. And they are an N-line specific seat, and they're really, really nice material, actually. They feel quite nice. And you'll notice this one does have the center cup holder armrest that folds down, nice and cushy. And then on the door itself, again, a nice cushy armrest with that nice red stitching in there, again, because it's the N-line version. You got a bottle holder in the door as well, so lots of places to put bottles and cups and whatnot. And check this out, guys. So these seats, as you've seen in my other videos, they do recline. And there's 13 different positions that you can actually lock that back seat in. So lots of reclinability and customizability in those seats. Now, on the seat backs for the front seats here, they are solid. You have seat back pockets. You got vents back here. You've got nice, well-lit USB ports, easy to find. Still USB-A in this one, but that's fine. You got a huge panoramic sunroof that flanks this beautiful black headliner. And of course, all four positions have the grab handles there. So yeah, pretty comfortable place to be. Lots of space, actually. I mean, you can see I got tons of legroom, and this vehicle is actually set up right now for where I would normally drive it. And I can see also I can put my feet underneath the seat quite easily because the seat has height adjustment. All right, there it is, the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Smart Stream technology gas direct injection engine. Now, this one is very easy to work on. First of all, you can see we got lots of space around the outside, which is going to reduce your cost of ownership because it's going to make it easier to perform maintenance, which brings the maintenance cost down. You can also see we've got nice covers on both the sides here, and that's going to reduce a little bit of road noise and engine noise. The back of the firewall is insulated, as is the hood, and look at how well buttoned up that is, guys. I can't even get a finger in there, not even barely a fingernail. Everything's easy accessible. Windshield washer fluid right up front there. If you want to change your air filter, you can do that at home very, very easily. Basically, you just put those down and you pull this out just like that. I'm not going to do it now because the engine's running, obviously. And there you go. You can change that air filter in like 10 seconds flat. Battery there, fuse box there, brake fluid there. All pretty straightforward, but lots of structural adhesive, as you can see. So hundreds of feet of structural adhesive to add to the over 60% advanced high-strength steel construction, making this a top safety pick. It is a very, very safe vehicle. All right, let's close up the hood and check out the front seats. All right, having a look at the driver's seat. So before we jump in, just want to show you just the beautiful styling, actually. So this little sort of piano black strip kind of meets up with the dashboard here and kind of flows all the way down and around the center console. It's a really, really nice look. But let's have a look at the seat itself. So you got a power driver's seat. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-way adjustable power driver's seat with the height adjustment as well as tilt. And the seat itself, very, very well bolstered. And of course, you have the little N badge in there as well. So really, really nice place to be. Beautiful heated steering wheel. It's a 4-spoke steering wheel, but it's heated all the way around. You got the N badge there, perforated grips. Of course, behind the steering wheel, you got that beautiful 10-inch instrument cluster that does change when you adjust the drive modes. Check that out. So you got Eco, Normal, Sport, and Smart. And basically, when you put it into the different modes, it changes the look of the instrument cluster, which is quite nice. And then, of course, here you have a 10-inch infotainment screen with tons and tons and tons of features. This also has the built-in navigation system. So I'll open that up real quick. Sorry, my hands are quite dry and cold. But yeah, check that out. 10-inch of navigation beauty here. And of course, this does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And to quickly answer a question that will arise, is it wireless? No, it's not. Any of the Hyundai vehicles that have Built-in navigation, unfortunately, do not have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do need to still plug it in for that. It's a limitation of the software, and MN Soft, the company that does software for Hyundai, is reportedly working on it. So hopefully soon they fix that problem. But anyway, it does work. You just need to plug it in. Now, of course, on that screen, the backup camera pops up as well, and you can see we've got dynamic steering lines and a very nice, clear image. It doesn't go full screen here because the camera isn't capable of that, but I do want to show you can actually look down over the bumper just like that, which is kind of cool. So you can adjust the angle of the camera, and then it does keep sort of whatever you want to have on the right-hand side here visible, which is kind of cool. All right, on the left of the steering wheel, rather, we have the turn signal stalk. It does have automatic headlights and automatic high beams as well. On the right-hand side, we have our windshield wiper washer stalk. Nothing too crazy special there, but it does have the rear wiper as well. Really nice knurled finish on both of those stalks. The steering wheel itself, as I mentioned, 4-spoke steering wheel with controls for the multimedia system on the left-hand side. So this only controls that stuff, nothing else, just to keep things nice and simple and not confusing. On the right-hand side here, these two buttons control everything in the center of this screen, and then these ones here are for your adaptive cruise control. So that's where the vehicle actually maintains a distance from the car in front of you by itself. This one actually adjusts the distance that you're following the car in front of you. The one right next to that is the lane centering system. So this will actually help you center on the lane by itself. It'll steer around slight corners and stuff like that. Basically just tries to do its best keeping you in the center of the lane. And that works up to about 60 kilometers an hour, and then the lane keep assistance system for highway speeds takes over. On the back of the steering wheel, you do have paddle shifters, so you can shift up and down just using those paddles, which is kind of nice. And it is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel with pretty good range of motion, actually. You can check this out. It actually moves quite a bit. So there's lots of adjustability there, which is good because you're going to want to be able to see through the steering wheel at that beautiful 10-inch screen. Now, both of these screens, by the way, they are non-polarized screens. So if you wear polarized sunglasses, it's not going to be an issue. You're still going to be able to see those screens quite readily and easily. All right, let's check out the center console. So you can see here, we got a little button that opens up the center console. It's fairly decent size, lots of space in there. Nothing in there though, just empty space. Right above that, of course, you have your emergency brake, which is power, and it's automatic as well. So it actually turns itself on and off as necessary. But what's really cool is that when you put the vehicle into drive or reverse, it shuts itself off before causing any problems. So you can't accidentally leave the cruise or the e-brake on. The auto hold button there basically just stops the vehicle from moving when you put it into, or when you have it in drive and you let your foot off the brake, it just won't move until you press the gas. And then of course we have drive, neutral, reverse, and park. And a couple things. So I already mentioned how it quickly puts itself into park. Actually, I don't think I did. When you when you are driving and you come to a stop, you take your seatbelt off, you open the door, boom, it's in park. You don't have to press park. It does it for you automatically. You should still press park, but if you forget, it's a nice backup. When you shut the car off, same thing, puts it into park for you automatically. And shutting off the e-brake automatically as well. So really, really nice, safe system. Above that, you have your drivetrain mode. So that will switch you between, and I'll show you here, if I click on the screen. So I've got terrain and drive. So there's our Eco, Normal, Sport, Smart, which we looked at earlier, and terrain modes. And now I need to move the little rocker switch next to it. So you got snow, mud, and sand mode. And that is the little rocker switch there that I'm using. You've got auto start stop system in this vehicle to save about 4% of fuel every year. That actually allows you to shut that off. By the way, the terrain modes, I forgot to mention, they will basically, what they're going to do is they're going to adjust the all-wheel drive system according to the different scenarios. So it'll increase traction control aggressiveness, but it'll also adjust the amount of power that it transfers to the rear wheels. It's not an on-off system for the rear wheels. It's actually a clutch pack that'll actually adjust in different percentages how much power goes to the rear. What's really nice about the H-Track system, though, is that anytime you accelerate, regardless of what mode you're in, it'll put power to the rear wheels to mitigate the potential of the front wheels slipping. So really, really good system, designed and engineered by Magna International, which is a partly Canadian company. So pretty cool. Having a look at the row of buttons above that, you got your heated seat, your heated steering wheel, hill descent assist, which works up to about 40 kilometers an hour. This button here just turns the camera on, so I can press that, turns on the backup camera, press it again, turns it off. In front of that, more storage, USB port that links up directly to the screen, the 12-volt power outlet, and then another USB port for charging devices. Now, this vehicle does have a lot of touch sensitive buttons, which get a lot of grief from the industry, but honestly, they do work really, really well in Hyundai vehicles. They're quite responsive, as you can see. And basically, when you set the temperature here, you kind of set it and forget it anyway. You don't really have to play with this too much. Even the recirculate, it has automatic recirculate if you're going through like a tunnel, or if you're using the windshield washer fluid, it'll recirculate automatically. It does also have diffuse, so diffuse will put the air out through these little tiny holes here in the dash that you can see, and that's so you don't have the air blasting on you all the time. So that's kind of cool. So there's very little that you actually need to press on this screen. You adjust your temperature to where you want it, both sides, and then you just adjust the automatic, and that's about it. Now, as far as the stereo goes, well, you have the row of buttons along the bottom here, but again, a lot of these things you can control from the buttons on the steering wheel. So you're not really pressing these buttons too often anyway. And also, a lot of people that don't like touch-sensitive buttons never seem to have a problem with the touch screen. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? But anyway, let's have a look at the screen here real quick. Don't want to get into this too much because honestly, there is a ton of stuff to talk about on the screen. But what I will do is I'll link a video to the infotainment in-depth analysis that I did on the Hyundai Palisade. It's very, very similar, with the exception that this vehicle doesn't have ambient lighting or actually it might. It doesn't have the head-up display though, so that's going to be one thing that's different. I'm going to quickly check here. I'm going into the settings, vehicle, and lights. Oh, it does have ambient light. Check that out. So that's pretty cool. So the ambient light, guys, you can actually choose whatever color you want, and what it does is it puts out some light down here. You can notice the red reflecting off my hand there. And also in this pocket down here, which you can kind of see. That's pretty neat. And a couple other spots as well. So you can actually change all of that. You can have it dim in the dark. You can change the brightness level, that sort of thing. You can even link it to the drive modes. So that's all part of that. So again, check out the description below. There will be a link to the Hyundai Palisade in-depth analysis of the infotainment screen. And it's almost exactly the same. So I'm not going to get into that any further, but basically you've got your main home screen with all of your applications. Within there you have your map, your quiet mode, your valet, HD radio data, which is kind of cool. You can see current traffic conditions, you can see current Doppler radar conditions, well, not all the time, but most of the time. You can see fuel prices, so you can find a place that you want to navigate to, for instance. So if I hit go here, it'll take me to that place, which is kind of cool. And of course it has Blue Link, which is what it was just asking about. So yeah, all of that is free to use. So that's pretty cool. All right, and then jumping over to this screen real quick, I just want to show you a few things that this screen can do. Let's get rid of the protective plastic on that one now. So in the middle right now, we have our lane keep assist information, which will also show cruise information. And if I press this button right here, you can see we cycle along the top of the menu to the different sub-menus. And then within the different menus. Within the menus now have different sub-menus, and the first one is our attention level. So that's used, or you get there with this little rocker switch. You can kind of go up and down to cycle through the sub-menus. The attention level system basically will monitor how you're driving, and it may or may not suggest that you take a break if you've been on the road for a long time. Jumping over one, we can see we have our drive info, so we'll reset that real quick. We'll reset the since last refueling, our accumulated info, our auto stop timer, and our digital speedometer, which can be changed to miles, by the way. So if you're driving down in the United States, you can switch that over to miles. Or if you're watching from the United States and you come up to Canada, you can switch that to kilometers. We have our turn-by-turn directions, which also becomes a compass when I shut off the turn-by-turn or the map system. So let me just cancel the route here, and then we see a compass. And if I jump over one more time, we can see our all-wheel drive info screen, and then our tire pressure monitor. So that's all in the center screen, and of course it bounces back to the beginning when you hit the top button again. So that's back to the beginning now. All right, so aside from that stuff, we have our big, beautiful panoramic sunroof, which I think I mentioned that earlier, actually. We have both sun visors are capable of sliding, and they also both have mirrors, and they both have lights. And then above the rearview mirror, you can see we have our headliner console here. Basically, we've got an SOS button for the Blue Link system and the call for roadside assistance through the Blue Link system. And then we have access to our LED lights there, map lights, all the lights on when the door is open. And which is really nice with this sunroof is that there is a 100% light blocking cover that you can stop at any part along the way. So you can see here I can stop it wherever I want. So that's kind of nice as well. Now with BlueLink, you get that free for 3 years in Canada. So to top your 5-year, 100,000 kilometer comprehensive coverage warranty, you get 3 years of BlueLink and 3 months of free SiriusXM satellite radio. So lots of free stuff thrown in with the vehicle. Now this particular vehicle is priced at about $41,000 in Canada. Depends on your market exactly, so different provinces it's slightly different. It's about $41,000. But yeah, with that, 5 years of warranty, 5 years of roadside assistance anywhere in North America, not kilometer dependent. So if you go over 100,000 K, but you're still within 5 years, you'll still have roadside assistance. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to call it for this video. So a very, very nice feature-rich Tucson that looks fantastic. Lots of cool buttons and features to play with, and great warranty to boot. Just a nice looking all-around family vehicle. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment below if you have any questions. And if you want to see future videos like this, don't forget to hit the bell icon. But thank you again, and till next time, have a great day.